ever since, because you see a lot of shows that come up and people normally start, they don't last long.
Mm-mm.
Even because it's not really meant, like a lot of, we meant to show for you guys, and when we make it about you guys, the viewers, the audience, those are the shows that last the longest, because we're here to serve each and every one of you. And I think that's just something that's extremely important. So good morning, Trees. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, ladies. Please be sure to share this out and get as many ladies in here as possible, because we're going to recap from last week's topic. And it's definitely going to be amazing. Last week we had an amazing response from all of you ladies who joined. And we're just going to continue on with the conversation. And if you guys have anything that you want us to discuss, you can either put in the comments below, or you can send it individually to either Tawanta or myself, and we'll be more than happy to, talk about that particular topic on the show. No topic is really no limits. No, we're not going to talk about. But as long as it's geared towards, women's wellness, women's mindset, women's inspiration and education and empowerment, we love to talk about those things, because we like to talk about real life things that happen to us as moms, as wives, as entrepreneurs every single day. So I always like to talk about the business perspective to whatever topic that we're discussing. And then Tawanta rolls in and she talks about the mindset stuff, which we know is like hand in hand. You can't have an amazing business if your mind is not set up right. You can't have, same thing with the mindset. Your mindset has to be right in order for you to have an awesome business. So please be sure to share, guys. We do have a community called the Sister to Sister Connection, which is growing every single day. So we did post a link in the title of this broadcast. So definitely hop on over there and join our community. So you can kick it off, Missy Tawanta.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on. Woo, I'm getting up, y'all. I am up. I'm trying to get it together. I'm just keeping it real.
Yes, it's one of those mornings.
It is. It's one of those mornings, but I'm thankful to be alive to see this morning. I am. So no complaints or anything like that. But we're so thankful to see another episode 18.
Yes, 18.
We should have a party. We get to like 20 or if not 25 episodes or something like that. We should have like a party or something. That would be really cool. I think that would be awesome, right?
It's a big accomplishment.
It is, because the consistency is just amazing, right? And as Letitia was saying that, some people, when they start something like this, similar to this, they start off strong and then eventually they start to fizzle out. And, people that follow them, they're like, what happened? Where did you guys go? And, and that just leaves people stranded, right? Because they want more. It has helped them. And so we want to try to maintain that as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Right. And just come on here, not as like experts, but we're experts based on our lives, what we have experienced. Right. And we just want to be able to share what we have learned, and really be a great blessing and be a great value to you as well, personally as well as professionally.
Yes.
So again, we're going to recap, and I'm going to introduce myself to those of you who don't know who I am, and then Letitia's going to do the same thing as well. I'm Tawanta Davis Jones, and I'm the founder of Resilience Beauty Academy, and I'm here to help you renew, rebuild, restore your mindset, and recharge your inner beauty, yes, from the inside out, while helping you reach your maximum potential. Yes.
Amazing. Yes, girl. And I am Letitia Campbell. I'm your sales success strategist. I help you dominate your online sales by teaching you how to become magnetically attracted to your customers so that you can finally push that button and design a life for yourself. I'm also the founder of the Sales Success Academy, head coach of the Sexy Brand Building Formula course, and the CEO of the Campbell Success Network. And I so thank you guys for hopping on and joining us this morning.
Yes, we are so excited to have you here, guys. And so we're going to just recap on what we talked about last week, be a voice, not an echo, because that was really an awesome topic and it was a great discussion. And, we even talked a little bit more behind the scenes last week.
Yes, we did.
We said we need to make this a part 2. So we are here to continue on with that because, of course, I know a lot of you viewers who were watching last week live, I'm pretty sure those of you also watched the replay, you also was commenting, and this give you guys an opportunity to come back and, you know, share your experience of what you have heard from from last week's show. And we're going to recap a little bit what we talked about last week. And then we're just going to go ahead and just pick up from that point on. And again, like Satisha said, please feel free to comment below, because we do read your comments and, you know, suggestions and questions or whatever, right? Because it's all about dialogue here. It's all about connection. We all communicate. It's not about me and her. It's all of us, because we all learning from one another.
That's right.
Okay. So be a voice, not an echo. Ways to keep you silent. You know, I had 3 ways of how, you are kept silent. And one is to devaluing your ideas and opinions. There's, with life, especially with us as women, we were trained, or if not raised or told, if you will, about how we supposed to be when we are, married. We be the wife, we take care of the home, we take care of the kids and all of those things. But honestly, we have to learn to be quiet at some point, especially when it comes to, the home, with the husband being in charge, the head of the house and all that. And we know that, we honor that, and all of those things. But, that also kind of diminish us as a woman, because God also created us equal as well, that we have the ability to go ahead and speak our minds and to share our thoughts and our hearts and ideas to help the situation, depending on whatever it is. And not even just in our personal life, but also in our professional life as well. Because when you work in a community, when it's predominantly mostly men, for women in the workforce, it's very intimidating, and it's very challenging for women to be able to speak their truth and to share their ideas. And even if they do, the men, most of them will be really nasty, and they would take that woman's idea and say, oh, I thought of it. It was all my idea, kind of thing. And that devalues that woman's ability to, to go any forward, because she believes she doesn't have anything of value to say, that, and it really hurts her. And that puts women in a position where they're like, well, I don't have any value. I don't have anything of value to say, or anything important to say. So I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to stay in my lane, and all of that. And that's not how it's supposed to be. The second thing is that feeling unsafe to share, basically feeling unsafe to share. And what I mean by that is you just don't feel comfortable in your environment. You just really don't. And like I said, go back into the workforce, you are around a lot of people, especially the men, and if men already been, they're automatically, dominating species anyway, right? And for most women, they find that very intimidating, and they don't feel comfortable sometimes. And even when they do go ahead and try to voice their ideas or thoughts or suggestions, men will have a way to overrule that, right? And of course, most women don't feel comfortable. And even though they try to fight, even though they try to, stand strong, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much, and they eventually just, fizzle out of there and just leave it as is. And that's not how it's supposed to be. And even just in our personal life, we deal with that with our loved ones, with our family. And it's all based down to generation. It's all based down to when you were a child, that's not everybody, but unfortunately there are some grown women who still has that mindset from the past of where they had to been, quiet this and shut up or be quiet, and go in your corner, go in your lane or whatever it was. And they, believe that's just how it's for them, that women, as for women, that we should stay in our place and not talk, right? Not be that voice. But you have a powerful voice, and, people are intimidated by your voice. You got to understand. And when people say those things, when they tell you to be quiet or, oh, you don't need to say no more, they are very intimidated by your power, believe it or not. And a lot of us women, we don't recognize that. We don't realize that, because unfortunately, those in our life, in our inner circle, hasn't said that. Some of our family members, our parents, our husband, whoever. Some people just did not remind you when you were a little girl, you have power. Your voice is power, right? And as we get older, we tend to believe that what we talk about is not important. It doesn't matter. And yes, it does matter. The third thing is about self-worth. We start to look at ourselves and we start to doubt who we are, right? We start to doubt our worth. We like, well, I don't have anything really to talk about. Or, if somebody asks you a general question, so what do you think about this, sis? What are your thoughts? The person could truly be like, she don't have anything to say. She doesn't have any input, or she's just too afraid to say anything because every time she does say something, somebody stops her in the middle of her sentence and tell her, that's okay. We don't need to hear that. We got that taken care of. We got that settled and all those things. And she's been dealing with that for so many years, for such a long time. And now that she's an adult, she is, she has decided, well, you know what? I don't need to say anything. I just let everybody else speak on my behalf or speak for me. And you should not do that either, because somebody speaks on your behalf, it's not going to work in your favor. It really isn't, because at the end of the day, that individual is going to get all the credit. That individual is going to get all the fanfare. You just going to be like a little dot, a little speck somewhere, just totally being ignored, and that's just how society has been from generations to generations, that women are just to be ignored, really. They're only there to serve, to be a servant, or if you will, to take care of the home, take care of the kids, but they are not supposed to be recognized. Okay, I'm just saying. And this is 2018 and we're still dealing with that foolishness. Okay, come on, somebody. Now, I have 3 steps to reclaim your voice. How to reclaim your voice. And that is, number 1, determine your role. You need to know who you are. You need to know who you are, chick. Let's keep it in on the real. You need to know who you is, okay? You got to understand, first of all, I'm a child of God. I'm the righteousness of God. Come on, somebody. And what God put in me is powerful, just like what he put in you, right? You need to stand strong and know that you are a valuable woman, and that what God has given you, it is on point. It can change the trajectory of your life, of your family life, of your peers, your coworkers, or whomever that's in your life, in your circle. You have something of value, and you need to stand strong and know who you are. Know your identity. Know that you are not just a person. You're just not a typical woman that can go ahead and bear children and, walk around the house barefoot and all that foolishness. What kind of crazy crap is that? Okay, I'm going to keep it nice. I'm going to keep it nice, because, that just stir up my little head. It just stirs me up a little bit. What kind of crazy is that?
It stirs all of us up. Yeah.
Yes, because you got some knucklehead that's saying stuff like that. I'm serious. People still think that way. And most women, honestly, it's unfortunate, some are still accepting that behavior. And women, you have to stand strong and know your worth. And I know it's so intimidating and so scary for some women just to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to accept this type of abuse. I'm not going to accept this type of behavior. There are women who are too afraid to even stand up on their own because of what the reaction is going to be from that individual. And I understand, but still, you got to let them know, you're not going to mess with me. You're not going to do that to me. I'm a woman of value. I'm a woman of purpose. Right? I know my role. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know who I'm supposed to be. I'm your wife. Yes. I'm a mother to the children. Yes. But darn it, look, I'm a woman first. Okay. And I have values. I have a mindset. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of things, and I'm supposed to be your helpmate. Let me help you. Let me help you, because 2 heads is better than 1. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can do your thing, but when you have somebody else in your circle, that could also help you with that idea, it just changes everything. But ladies, you need to determine your role. The second thing is renounce your inner critic. And what I mean is us, because we are our worst critic, right? We always, degrade our work. We don't think we're good enough. And like, I don't think I should do this. I'm not good at that. Or I don't know if I can be able to do this and do that. You know how we are. We always self-sabotage, our worth. And we need to stop doing that, guys. You have to build up your confidence, right? And realize that what God gave you, it wasn't a mistake, right? And stop comparing yourself to someone else's work, to someone else's gifts, right? If you are a if you are a strategist, you come out just with fluid information, man. I mean, you just like, girl, what school did you go to? It just come out of your mouth like water, right? And I mean, like, and you don't see that. You second guess yourself, right? And then you try to compare yourself with somebody else. Like, oh, well, Letitia, she's the bomb.com. I wish I could be like her. I wish I could get the people that she got. Child, please, Chick had to go through some stuff too, okay? She had to go through some levels of confidence. She had to go through some levels of, looking at herself in the mirror like, am I really worth here? Am I really supposed to be here? What is my purpose? What am I will? And I guarantee you, girlfriend's like, look, I know I'm fine and all, but I got some powerful stuff to share with some people that's even going to take me to another level, honey. I mean, really, you got to know who you are, right? You have to suppress that inner critic and tell that inner critic, no, I'm a smart woman. I'm a creative woman. I have what it takes to be successful. I have what it takes to dominate. And what I have can change my sister. It can change my neighbor. It can change the whole world, right? Utilize what we already have available to us, which is social media, the platform. Ladies, you don't even have to worry about paying to go on live every day. Do you understand that? I mean, that's a blessing. Back in the day, in the 80s, we didn't have this stuff. We were social media. If we had a friend or a neighbor that was starting their own business and they had good stuff, guess what? We were the ones to go out in the neighborhoods and say, girlfriend, you need to go down the street because Uncle Joe got his own little cafe or whatever it was, and he got good food. Back in the day, we didn't have all this luxury, right? And we took the initiative to go out into the community and tell our neighbors and our friends and coworkers, whoever, about our neighbor friend that's starting their own business. It was awesome. But now that we have been blessed with social media and it's free to go on live, we don't make the effort. We don't make the effort because we look at our we listen to our inner critic, right? And we like, oh, I don't think nobody's going to like what I got to talk about. Oh, I don't think, I got to make sure my hair looks right. Or, oh, I got to make sure my face look good, and all this. We come up with all kinds of excuses, right? And we go ahead and just mess up an opportunity that God has allowed for us to utilize, right? So the third thing is, don't be afraid of your power. Don't be afraid of your power, ladies. Remember, you are strong. You are confident. God has already equipped you with more than enough. He knew what he was doing when he had installed all of those gifts and talents and ministries inside of you. You did not sit in the chair next to God the day before you came into your mama's womb and said, oh, Jesus, I like gift box number 2 because it's small, it's confined. I can handle that because it's not too much, And God will offer you. He was like, well, I have gift number 5. Nope, God, that one's too big. I can't do gift number 5. I can't. That's way too much for me. I'm happy with number 2. No, you did not make that decision, right? It was a done deal. What God had already instilled and incorporated in you, he knew what he was doing because he believes in you. That's right. He has given you enough to know that you are capable of doing what I have put in you. That's right. Right? So you don't need to be intimidated, or you don't need to be afraid. You don't need to doubt your worth. Know who you are. Know your power. And when you understand how much God loves you and how much he believes in you, that will hopefully change your mindset, right? Because it all starts here in the mind. It really does. Change your mindset, and you start believing in yourself, and you start building up your confidence, and then you just go ahead and start doing what you're supposed to do. Exactly. And you know what? When you start doing what you're supposed to do, it won't become stressful. Yep. It will not become a problem. It will not be overwhelming. It will be like, oh my God, this is getting on my nerves. And I get it. We get tired and all of those things. But at the end of the day, why are we going on here, right? And when we get on here, we feel good about it because we know what a the content that we bring forward is valuable, and we know it's going to help somebody. Exactly. It may not help everybody, but it's going to help somebody, right? And we have seen that. Letitia has seen that. I've seen it in my own, you know, and a lot of you who has gone on live, you know, with the key.
Yes, guys, I believe that Shoshana, I'm sorry, I keep calling you Tawanta. I think that she froze. Just give us 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Let me make sure to let her know that she's frozen on my end. And type in 2, guys, if you can see and hear Shoshana right now, because I know, Mom, I know. Yes, yes. 1 second, guys. Let me let her know she froze so she can go out and come back in. But while we're waiting for Shoshana to hop back on, and thank you so much, ladies. Sorry, my little 10-month-old is back in the background screaming. What I really want to talk to you guys about, while as Shoshana is coming back on in, let me see if she's coming in now. I think she's coming through now. Shoshana, can you hear me? I mean, Tawanta, can you? I keep calling you. Tawanta, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, sis. Yes, we seem to be having a little bit of a connection issue, but we're going to work that out right now. And ladies, let us know one takeaway that you've gotten from watching this, which is something that's so important because, yeah, I just trying to laugh at that. It's too early in the morning. It really, really is, y'all. But we want to make sure that we give you guys a whole heap of value. So while we're waiting on Tawanta to come back on, I'm going to hold on. Hold on, Mama. I'm going to kick off with my segment, and what I want to talk to you guys about is 1 second. Let me see if she's coming through now. Okay, we're going to wait a little bit. So what I want to talk about is just to piggyback off of what she said when she was talking about live streaming and how many of us are still not going live, or we're not going live often. And one of the things she touched on, which I was like, I got to talk about this, is that years ago, back when there was a lot of commercials going around, people were buying slots and things like that to get their brands, get their business exposed. It costs millions and millions of dollars just to show up for 30 seconds on a commercial, you know, and live streaming has offered us, like, just average small business owners, average network marketers, the opportunity to able to show up without even having to pay anything at all. Another thing is, like, one of the things Tawanta touched on about having to focus on how your appearance, how your props, and how everything needs to look, is that the major thing you guys must understand, especially about live streaming, especially when it comes from you, you know, not being an echo and you being a voice, is that everything is about your message. You got to have a message. Somebody type in the word message in the comments. If you don't have a message, it doesn't matter how amazing your background looks. It doesn't matter how amazing your hair looks, how amazing your makeup looks. If you don't have a message, nobody is going to come back to your broadcast. So what I want to touch base on is that, you know, I really want to talk about this sort of issue that I've been hearing a lot on whenever I'm having strategy sessions with my clients. And the number one thing that many of you guys say is that you're afraid of what other people are going to think about you. You're afraid of other people's opinions or other people's perceptions or perceptions. And you got to understand, I'm going to give you guys just sort of 3 tips that I do every single day to help me just stay in line with my overall message, okay? The first thing I want you ladies to do every single morning, whether you have a business or not, is that I want you guys to, hold on, let me just message Tawanta real quick. Hold on. Yeah, whether you have a business or not, I want you to just wake up every morning, and I do this with my clients all the time. Wake up every morning and just do a brain dump. Just dump out every single goal, every single thing you want to complete for that day. Oh, good, Tawanta's coming back on. Yay. Tawanta, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, let me get your camera on, sis.
Gotcha.
Okay, come back on, come through.
There I am.
Great, she's back.
Yay,
Okay, great. You are back. So you can just finish off where you left off. I got a little bit into my content, but you can finish off where you left off.
Oh, go ahead. Okay,
good. No worries. Awesome. So the first thing that you ladies should also always do every single day, and if you haven't done it this morning, now is an amazing opportunity for you to do it, is to do a brain dump. Dump out everything you want to get done, whether you can make one column for personal, another column for business, or whatever. But it's so important that you purge out all these things that you have in your head, all these visions, all these to-dos, all these must-haves, everything, right? Because that is your blueprint. That is your guiding light in order to redesign what you need to get done every day. One of the things I love to look at every day is this little thing I picked up. Where did I pick this up from? I don't even remember. I had this for years, actually. And it says, do more of what makes you happy. Okay? So as you're doing that brain dump, you want to think about those things that makes you happy. Okay? Right. You know, the second thing I wanted you guys to get into is to do a self-check, right, throughout the day. I constantly have to keep doing that because as you're building a business, as you're starting to revamp your life, there's a lot of things in negativity that's going to come in your way. Sorry about that. There's a lot of things in negativity that's going to come in your way. So it's always good to just, a lot of times I will go in the corner or I would sit by myself on the couch and I'll say, okay, I will say, how am I feeling right now? What am I doing right now? How am I feeling? These emotions, are they my own? Because a lot of times we could be watching a TV show or listening to the radio station and the content can make you feel like, oh my God, make your blood pressure go up, make you feel angry and stuff like that. So it's always a good idea for you ladies to start doing a self-check. Do like 3-4 times a day and say, okay, how am I feeling right now? You know, whatever decision that you're making, if somebody says, I want to do this, you want to turn around and you have to ask yourself, well, how do I feel about this situation? Ask yourself that question. Like you literally, that's how easy it is, ladies. You literally got to push yourself aside and say, how do I feel right now? How do you feel right now? And go in accordance to that. The third thing I want to say is that journaling and spending some time alone is one of the best things that you can do for the next 5 months. You sitting down, buying a notebook, you know, reasonably priced, that's good. Reasonably priced notebook where you're writing down your emotions for the day. When you're like in the morning, you're starting off with a brain dump where you're literally going, okay, number 1, I want to do this. Number 2, I want to do that. But at the end of the night, you want to start to journal out. Just journal out, brain dump your emotions. Okay. In the morning, you want to brain dump with your strategy. In the evening, you want to brain dump your emotions. And I'm telling you, ladies, I know this sounds super simple, but the thing that we miss is the consistency in this, and that you got to be extremely consistent when you're brain dumping every morning, when you're doing that self-check throughout the day, and then when you also journal and spend that alone time. It's so important. You don't have to have the people around you if you don't want to. And the people like, oh, why you want to be alone? Listen, if they can't get it, then they can't get it. But it's just so important that you understand the value of being self-aware of your goals, your aspirations, your dreams, and your overall journey. Because this right here, what I just told you guys, and even what Tawanta told you guys, will keep you on track every single day when you become very diligent, when you become very consistent with it, which is just so important. And allows you, right, to be a voice and not an echo. See, we fall behind because we are doing what everybody else wants us to do, and we're not redefining what we want to do. And it's really hard because I even told you guys my story. When my therapist asked me, what do I want to do? That was one of the most hardest exercises I have ever had to do, because I spent last 16, 17 years serving everybody else and not thinking about, well, how do I feel about this, or how I feel about that? No, I don't really want to do that. And being okay with saying no and dealing with the repercussions of the world not agreeing with how I feel. Like, you got to have that mindset, because if you really want to live a fulfilled life, you got to do things that fulfill you. And if you're not fulfilling you every day, it's sort of like you're just walking throughout the day with no goals, no anything. Right? And then you fall in line with that life of living with regret. And we all don't want that to happen. So I really would like to know in the comments, like, what are some of the things that you ladies are struggling with when it comes to doing that brain dump, or doing that self-check throughout the day, or even journaling? Like, what are some of the things that you guys struggle with when it comes to do that? And if you do these things, great, awesome. Give us some tips inside the comments, because this is something that women need to become more aware of, the thoughts that are going on in their head, doing that self-check throughout the day, and making sure they summarize their day every day, so that they have something, okay, now I could tap into my emotions. Now I could tap into my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And also I wanted to say too, when we get so caught up in, dealing with what we deal with, it's so hard for us women to really get out of that mindset of, of being not able to speak our truth.
Yeah.
And I think it's so frustrating for some women now, those who are ready to start a new journey in their life. They'll start a new chapter, or they start a new business or whatever. They have been so conditioned to just be behind the scenes and to stay in their lane. And they don't know how to break forth out of that thing. And it becomes so overwhelming for some that they just don't fight like they should, because they think it's a lost cause, right? And and I'm good. I can speak only for myself. I was that way, because I had conditioned myself just to be in the background, right? Just to be that background. And if you needed me, I will, I'll say something. But when I said it, in my mind, I knew it made sense. But at the end of the day, I always second guess myself.
That's right.
I should not have said it, because nobody really got excited about it, or they didn't really, caught on what I was trying to say, what I was visualizing in my head. And then I would just go ahead and beat myself up. And I said, well, you know what, Tawana, just keep quiet. Just stay in your lane. Don't put your 2 cents in it and stuff. But you know what? You have to understand, ladies, this is a season of your life that things are changing for you.
You got to push the
And some of you are probably right. And some of you are already in that position right now where you have noticed some things about you as a woman. Certain things that you are dealing with right now, maybe with your spouse, you just got tired of it. You are at that point now. You're like, I'm just so freaking tired of this behavior. And now, because 2 years ago, you just let it slide. You just tolerated it. But now it's something about you. You notice this. It's like, I just don't like this anymore. I need to say something. I need to do something, right? And then eventually you go ahead and speak your truth. Now, of course, we as women, or just people in general, those of us, they say the quiet ones, you got to be careful of the quiet ones, because, they don't talk much. But if you get them mad, they just whoop, they explode, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And to some degree, that may be true. But even with that being said, if someone just goes off, she has a reason why. Because all of these years, she was building up and building up and building up all this frustration and disrespect and dishonor from all the people in her life that supposedly care and love her and all this stuff. And now she just like a volcano. She just erupted and she spoke her truth, right? And I mean, for some of you ladies out there, that's probably where you are right now. You are feeling that heat. You're like, I'm not feeling good about this. I don't like this. I'm tired of people stepping over me and, saying stuff and this, that, or whatever. And, you like, I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what I should do about it. I don't know if I should talk to them about it. And if I talk about it, would they understand? And this, that, whatever. Speak your truth. Be honest, because you are being free, right? Right. Stop being that echo. Stop, because with echoes, it just goes and it's disappeared. It really does. But with your voice, it stands. It stands, it is sealed. It's like a stain. When you speak your truth, it's not going to be washed away. It's not going to evaporate, right? You have power within you, ladies, to actually stand and be that woman that God created you to be. And if people don't like what you got to say, whatever, bye.
That's right. You gotta face your fear on the front end. Because whatever you're avoiding doing, or whatever you're fearful about doing, it's not going to go away. It's still going to be there. So you got to face it head on in order to conquer it. Even when you're trying to have these tough conversations with people who are unsupportive of what you're doing, you got to face that and conquer it and say, you know what? I need to have this conversation. This is what I'm doing. Like, I have one client who's going to be attending an event that I'm speaking at in Orlando. And it's a 2-day event. And she's like, she paid already for the event, but she's like, oh my God, I didn't tell my husband yet. And I was like, you got to just tell him. You not only got to tell him, you got to show him. You got to show him our marketing material, all of our videos, and really show them that this is where you need to be. Because in her husband's mindset, he's like, well, you can go on YouTube and learn all that stuff. No, you can't. You can't build $1 million business off of YouTube. Please let me know somebody out there who's built $1 million business off of YouTube. Is impossible. You get for what's available to you now, but to get over that threshold, you need to attend events and mentorships. So it's sort of like us as women, we sometimes feel like we can't do what we want because we're married or because we're moms. And really we can. We just have to face our fear on the forefront and say, you know what? I'm going to still go. Let me have a conversation with my partner. Let me have a conversation with my job. And let me let them know this is what I'm doing and this is what's going to happen. And that's it. And stop trying to, and be unapologetic about your goals. Be unapologetic. I used to, let me tell you something. This is like so long ago, but I used to feel bad for buying clothes for myself. Like that's how much I would psych myself out. Like and these are stuff that I needed. I would go to the mall and I would just buy some outfits for myself. And when I got home and I'm spreading the outfits across, I'd be like, across the bed, I'd be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have bought this. I shouldn't have bought that. But everybody else was buying what they want, getting their nails done, hair done, new shoes, everything. But when it came to myself, I felt bad. But it all stems from me feeling like, okay, maybe I don't deserve this, or I don't want this. Another person saying, you bought all that stuff. Why you bought that for? And that used to happen to me in my relationship. Whenever I bought something for myself, why you buy that? Why you buy this? And then we automatically tell ourselves, well, why did I buy it? Instead of saying, well, I deserve this. Like, I don't care what you say. Yeah, I'll spend an extra $10 on my nails. Who did I care? Yeah, I'm going to spend $200 on my outfits. I need to feel good too, Like that's a whole nother topic we can discuss on another show, because we need to be self-gratified with who we are and what we are, and just be unapologetic on not care so much about what the world thinks, and become true individuals.
Absolutely.
And not feel bad off of the decisions that we're making, especially if the decisions that you're making is about the family or it's even about yourself. Like if you want to do something because it makes you feel good, then do it because it makes you feel good. If you want to hire somebody to clean your house twice a week because it makes you feel good, that you can get other stuff done, you can leave the house, go walk to the park and just have somebody else take care of it, then do it. Why not?
Yeah. And everything you're saying is so true, because I felt the same way. And I think a lot of women are in that same dilemma as well. Maybe some have, finally had graduated from that, but there's still a lot of women today that really second guess what they do for themselves, and especially just simple thing like going to the mall. We all do it. Even go get your nails done or get your hair done.
Yeah, we'll go to the supermarket, we'll spend $500, clean the whole house, to feed the whole house. And then when we go to the mall, we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy that bag. Maybe I should. We always second guess it. And even myself, I still do it to this day. But then as I'm in the mall or as I'm on Amazon buying something, I always say, I deserve this.
Right.
Hard. I bust my ass every day. I deserve this. I earned my money. I deserve to buy this for myself. Exactly. And that way I don't feel like any kind of way about buying something, where in the past I would say, well, I'll return it. I used to go back and return half the stuff I bought, like dead serious.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because it was that mind trip that I allowed the reality of my current relationship and me feeling a certain kind of way about myself to just make total decisions over everything. My buying decisions, what I ate, how I spoke, places I went to, friends I spoke with, and we all do that. But we have to reset our minds and say, no more. No more. I'm doing what makes me happy, right? And that's something that's so important.
Exactly. And when you get to that stage in your life, you just get tired of the crap. You just get tired of that stuff, man. Because I know for me, I'm like, I had enough. I'm going to live my life the way God intended for me to live my life, and I'm going to enjoy my life, and I'm not going to allow of whatever issues going on. Okay. To get the best of me whatsoever. I'm just gonna enjoy what is here for me. But I'm also going to take the initiative and do what God has given me the ability to do, so I can be able to start living my life fruitfully right? And be a blessing to amongst all, that's in my life, right? That's so important.
And
So
ladies,
ladies,
write
go
down
ahead.
the top 5 things you want to do or places you want to go to before the end of this year. Like write those things down and then write under it how you're going to get there and stay focused on that. Like write down what you want to do. Don't say I want to go on a couples trip. No, write down what you want to do. It could be I want to lose 50 pounds or I want to be able to, I don't know, write a book. Just put it on a list and say, this is how I'm going to get there. Do I need a mentor? Do I need a publisher? Do I need to do some Facebook ads? Like whatever it is. Do I need to wake up extra early so I can work out or wake up extra early, work on my business? Like you got to sit down and say, well, what do I want to do today? Or how's doing this going to make me feel? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea. Ladies, that should be a challenge for you today to go ahead and just take that initiative and write out the things that you want to do for you, not for anybody else, not for your husband, not for your kids, not for your parents, for nobody. You, because you matter. You matter. You are important. So ladies, again, thank you so much for coming on. Those of you who are on, thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate you guys doing that. And those of you watching replay, thank you so much for staying and sticking with us. Sorry for the glitch. Sorry for that. But definitely continue to, share as well. And if you have any comments or suggestions, even if you have some ideas for future shows or topics, please comment that down below. We definitely go back and we do check the comments from everybody. And we definitely take it under serious consideration and all those great things. But we do appreciate you. Hey, Mary. Hey, Madai.
Hey, Madai.
No, we do appreciate you guys so very, very much. Any last words you have to say, Latish, before we go?
Well, like I said, just doing that challenge, guys, would definitely, I'm so sorry. Doing that challenge, guys, would definitely help out so much. And let us know what you guys wrote down next week where we can really, touch more base on it or get on like a group session like this would be super awesome and amazing. If you want to be a special guest on the show, we can add you on and you're able to express, your thoughts and some of the things that, according to the challenge I just spoke about.
Yeah, awesome. And our link is already on the description as well, bit.ly/S2S connection. That is our group. You're welcome to connect to that and be a part of that movement as well. And of course, I don't know, Letitia, did you put your information up there too, sweetheart, your link and everything for them?
Oh, yes. If you guys go to bit.ly/self-success 2018, it would allow you guys to find out more information. I'm just typing in the comments right now. It will provide you guys with more information on how you can get closely connected with me with many of the programs that I have on the inside.
Yes, I'm pinning it right now for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. And also, guys, again, if you want to be a part of the Resilience Beauty Academy, again, my link is bit.ly/resilient beauty. Resilient beauty. And I will put that down also as well. So ladies, thank you so much for coming on. We do appreciate you so very, very much. Those of you who are coming on right now, thank you for coming. You can watch the replay and continue to share from that point on. And we will be back next week with some more goodies. And again, if you have any questions or any suggestions, continue to go ahead and comment that below, and we'd be happy to respond from that point on. Okay, everybody? Everyone, have a great day. Bye-bye.